Guys, welcome to the R.A.D podcast, Real Authentic Dads, talking about real life shit. We're really excited to be with you today, and we're here at the Ivy Models HQ. But before I introduce you to our special guest today, quickly, we're always sponsored by the Mobile Barbershop Depot. It's a really cool barber shop, and they do events like weddings, parties. You can hire out for corporate events. They're located at 47 Upton Street, Bundle. Huge supporters of the show. And please follow us, like, share on Instagram, YouTube, and Spotify. So on Spotify, it's Real Authentic Dads. iTunes is the R.A.D podcast. But we're super excited for you to be here. Episode 5, we're interviewing a really cool up-and-coming entrepreneur. We actually met about 2 weeks ago. We met through a mutual friend of ours.
He's the reason for the off the cuff, which is episode 3, which is coming up. So we were supposed to be planning our episode 3, and then we ended up meeting these guys. So
quickly, mate, just before I introduce you, so episode 3, we actually had some topics to talk about. We actually met you guys by chance, and then we actually spoke about opportunities that come and go in people's lives. And I think had we not met you and had this opportunity and not, because usually we'd record on a Friday,
right.
We came in on a Thursday, and that opportunity of meeting you could possibly open up the door to who knows what in the future, right? And we spoke about opportunities and things happen for a reason, and we're big believers in that. So I think that connected us, and somehow it's going to benefit both of us somehow, somewhere. Had we not have met you, this certainly wouldn't be happening now.
Yeah, for sure.
But guys, Eric Machado, Hugh Simpson, and Will from Ivy Models, thanks for coming in, brother.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks for having us here with you.
Yeah.
Welcome to
the office.
Welcome to HQ. Yeah, we've got the boys in the back working, getting things done.
Mate, tell me about that firstly.
Oh, mate, it's a motto to live by around here. So, we're not going to do anything half-assed around here. It's either we're going to be legendary or we're not going to be average, and that's pretty much it. And it's just a constant reminder, to just stay your course on what you're doing, and that you've got a bigger goal in mind. Just reminds everyone around here what they're really here for.
Yeah. And mate, one thing's really cool, really brought us to interviewing you today. So it was the chance meeting of a friend of mine that I haven't seen in a long time. He was getting his hair cut at the Mobile Barbershop. We reconnected, and I asked him what he was up to. And anyway, he said he was lecturing this guy doesn't need to lecture, he doesn't need the money. And then we had a connection and said, I'm lecturing too at the Griffith Law School. He said he was lecturing at Bond Uni in entrepreneurship. We connected, and I go, what are you doing that for? And he goes, mate, I absolutely love it. I get to connect with people. But one cool thing that happens as a result of that is that I get to meet budding entrepreneurs. And they come to me with ideas. And there's certain kids that you believe in, they're going, that's going to work. And there's certain kids that don't. He goes, I'm actually meeting one of the guys that I used to lecture for lunch, who I've provided some seed funding and seed capital into. And I said, what do you mean by that? He goes, well, that's what I do now. I provide seed funding. So I said, what is your lecturing opportunity for you to get these ideas? He goes, well, not really. But he said this one kid in particular really stood out. This is what he's saying. It's a testament to you, mate. He said this one kid really stood out of all the rest. He says, I get a lot of kids coming to me with pitching me ideas, pitching me all this stuff, but this one kid, Will, he came to me with this idea, and I initially sat down and I go, this is interesting, and the enthusiasm and the way you presented it, and your charisma, which you ooze, and your passion for it, he goes, this is it, I'm investing in this. So he couldn't speak any highly of you, and he said, I'm actually meeting him for lunch, met you for lunch, and that's where we met. And initially, that conversation I had, just initially asked you a few questions, we were just like, wow, I love this story.
It goes to show you that it's not just about the business idea, but it's the people behind it. People are number one to me. You can have the best business idea, but it's just the one running it. Who's guiding the ship? Who's bringing it to fruition?
So we'll just initially, I won't explain it because you know better than me, but tell me about how the idea started. And actually, just tell me your background first, and then we'll get to the idea.
So look, my background is in digital business. So essentially, for the last 10 years, I've either been working in app development, I've been building my own apps, I've started building apps for other people, just around the whole digital sphere. Like when I grew up, this is when the first Macs were in school. So my first day of walking into a classroom wasn't going to the sand pit and playing with the toys. It was walking straight up to the first Mac that I could see, jumping on and going, oh my God, there's a graphical user interface that I can actually interact with as a kid. This was my first day at school. I'm pretty sure they only got those computers that year or the year before.
Wow.
So I was very, very lucky in that I was the generation, was the first ones to have computers and to have that through my whole entire schooling career. So it was just a natural progression for me, and I believe it is for a lot of kids in my generation, is to take this opportunity that is the World Wide Web and now app stores and that, and to just harness it and say, how can we make a difference on a worldwide scale through technology? Yeah. And that's everything that I do, everything that we flow through to, it's about how do we make a difference using technology. So I originally started out, in the tech sphere, born into a generation of kids who had the internet. And from there I went to university. I was doing a dual degree in business and IT. They didn't have enough IT kids actually, so they got rid of the whole IT part of the degree. So I became a digital business major. There was one other kid that was in the digital business major when I was finishing at Bond University. So it's just crazy to see there's such amazing opportunity. Yeah, it's still a thing that not many people do. Yet it's growing more and more.
It's massive.
It's massive.
It's interesting you say that actually, because I used to laugh at my ex-wife's brother, so my brother-in-law, ex-brother-in-law now. Yeah. He studied at Bond. Yeah. He studied computer games or app development, computer games. Yeah. Is there such a course like that?
I'm not sure if there is
computer games or app development.
Bachelor of Computer Science. Was, but I don't believe that they still have it there.
Right, because he studied there for a little. I used to joke around. I go, "What are you actually learning?" And he goes, "Oh, how to develop like apps and computer games."
That's cool.
That was like a number of years ago. Yeah. But now I reflect back on that and go, wow, that's where kids who are addicted to technology and stuff should put their passion in web development. Not web development, app development.
Yeah, absolutely.
How old are you, Will?
I'm 29.
So 29, like I'm turning 36 actually in a couple of days. So it goes to show you, at 29, when he was, in school, having the brand new, Macs that just came out, and like 7 years difference, maybe 6-7 years difference, like that. I didn't have that.
Yeah, I still have the Abacus.
Yeah.
We had Atari. Like, and I guess there's a cusp there of just such a big difference of harnessing what you, the power that you made that decision at that point in time.
Yeah.
So, I see an opportunity here. It's almost like when the internet first came about. Not that I remember, but when you hear people talking about it and saying that, they didn't think it was going to last. It was some, random idea, and like the internet has taken over our lives.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a really interesting book, and I would encourage everyone to read it or listen to it. If you love audiobooks, if you love podcasts, or if you're on Audible like I am, listen to Outliers. I believe it's by Malcolm Gladwell, and it's talking about your 10,000 hours and how privileged some people can be, or generations can be, to be able to have that advantage and build up those 10,000 hours. Just to put it into a nutshell, they believe that around 10,000 hours is what you need in order to become expertly proficient in something. So they looked at a number of different people in different disciplines and looked at how they've gotten to their 10,000 hours. So, my schooling, you're going to school for 6-7 hours a day for 12, 13 years. I was able to build up what I believe was a ton of those hours that the generation prior to us just didn't have, and it was the basis of our education.
Yeah. And you look at that, compare that to sport, right? Like you 10,000 hours in the pool, in the gym, just whatever you need to do, martial arts, to like Bruce Lee, he had that 10,000 hours to become like an expert at martial arts. You did the same in relation to...
Yeah, so it just goes back to the fact that we were very, very lucky,
yes.
And it's almost I was like born in the right place at the right time. Like if I was born in, potentially a third world country with bad, technology and infrastructure, I'd probably be, just a factory worker or working, a job where I didn't have these opportunities. So, a lot of it's luck and being born at the right time.
It goes to show you too, like our episode number 2 on opportunity. You've seen the opportunity.
Oh, absolutely.
You harnessed it. Yeah. And this is the thing, and of just getting started and just doing it. And that's what you've done. And now look at what you built. It's amazing. So tell us a little bit, like it's a very interesting business model.
Yeah.
I think everyone will be excited to hear about this business model because when I...
like I love it. I still talk about it. Like I think every day I mention it to some random person I don't know.
I was telling everybody a copy yesterday too. It was like, what is this app? And he's like, I'm going to tune in and listen to it because I'm going to qualify this first. How did it come to be? Because I joked with my mate before and I said, he goes, oh, how did they come up with that idea? And I said, oh, mate, I bet you it's a story like they were just buckled at a party one day and they were just like, oh, imagine how cool that would be for this situation.
Well, you're not too far off.
Yeah, right.
You're not too far off at all. So we were watching one of the UFCs, I believe, and there's all the boys sitting around and it's like, we can order a pizza, boys. We can order an Uber, a car to come pick us up. Why can't we order a stripper? Why can't we just order a stripper? And then someone's like, you mean boober? So they're throwing the boober. Call it boober. Boobs, we can get a boob to your door in under 20 minutes. So that's actually how it came to be.
And so that's a nice segue into what it is. So what is
so essentially what R.A.D Models is we've built a platform for models, influencers, topless, nude, waitresses, bucks party strippers. So any guy can go on there based on wherever you are in the city. You can go on it and you can find the girls in your city, and then you can very easily book them. You can see their recent reviews. You can pay by credit card.
Is there a guarantee like 20 minutes are free?
No,
like
we should work on something like that.
We should refund policy.
Yeah.
Stuck in traffic. What do you mean stuck in traffic?
So it's like an Uber for...
It's Uber for strippers. It's Uber for strippers. It essentially gives us...
Actually, I love it.
It's great, but it's great for a number of reasons. It's great for the customer side of things, but it's also great for the industry. We're really changing the industry.
And that's what I love the most. Like when you were telling me the story about like changing the industry and that basically you're taking this taboo, under the table kind of industry and like this is legitimate. These girls have assets, you know what I mean? Like it's a business for them,
absolutely.
Whether it's their body, whether it's their mind, whatever it is, it's a business. And just from I shouldn't say from experience, but even just talking to some of them in the past, it's like, oh, I'm in school, I do this part time,
I'm studying law.
Oh yeah, so what do you make? And then they start telling, and you're going like but it's under the table, it's cash money, you know what I mean? How do you buy a house? How do you get a credit card? And you're going to help with all this.
It's not the black market, but it's definitely the grey market. It's stuff that nobody wants to talk about, very difficult to work with large organisations in Australia such as payment gateways and banks.
But they still want to know about it?
No, nobody wants to work around it because of the negative connotations around adult entertainment and what's happening. But the whole reason that we really started to do this is that, again, coming back to us, we saw an opportunity here to improve an industry, legitimise income, and provide a better customer experience for both sides of the market. And if you find an opportunity like that you look around and you say nobody's doing this, highly fragmented market, go for it because somebody's got to do it. And if you're the person who knows how to do it and you've got the people to do it, you've got the great team behind you, and you've got the access to have people like our good friend as an investor that can mentor you through it, and you can make a real impact here.
So bring us back to that day. UFC party. Uber's being thrown around.
Yeah.
So from that time, where does the switch? Where does it happen from idea? Over a couple beers watching, the UFC to, listen guys, I'm actually going to put time into this. And
the girl that was waitressing turned around and goes, I would definitely use that. And I was like, what? And I was like, you're telling me there's nothing out there right now that exists that's like this? And she's like, nah, I'd definitely use that though. And she was waitressing at the time.
How did she get there though?
Well, exactly right. So it was through a friend and through like an agency, right? In a traditional sense, right?
Yes.
But that's the market telling you, hey, we want this, and if you can make it, like this, and this, we'll use it, right? So then that was the seed. The seed was planted, and all I had to do was throw a bit of water on it, let the idea fester, let it grow, and then I thought, you know what? What happened at the end of that booking, right? She walked away. Why didn't she have the opportunity to review us as customers? why doesn't every other girl that then is potentially looking us as a group of customers or as the person who bought, then able to see the reviews and ratings, being able to see, okay, no, this guy's really cool, really fun. I know Christy, she went there last week.
That's not her real name, by the way.
That's not her real name, no.
It's Mercedes.
Never is.
It's Mercedes.
It's Mercedes, yeah, I think so. she went there last week and the guys were great, you know, so then it gives you a bit of credibility to say, I do the right thing, you know, so these girls want to come party with us. If you do the wrong thing, then Christy, Mercedes,
Yes.
you know, she gets to tell the rest of her friends, hey, you know, don't go party with those guys. They're not fun, or they did this, or whatever. So there's a
safety factor as well.
Safety.
They know where they are.
Accountability, safety. They've got someone behind them that can really help with all of this stuff.
So good.
The security is an
So,
issue.
yeah,
Some of that stuff
security is
as
an
well,
issue.
right?
Oh.
And if you know where the girls are at any one point in time, you know,
100%.
that's another great thing.
Yeah.
So you're at the UFC party, so this idea came, and then where did the idea start flowing? Where were you along your app development journey during this stage?
Yeah, so at this stage, I was working on another product that I built called QuickSwap, and that was a peer-to-peer marketplace that would allow two individuals, hey, I've got some university textbooks, you know, I've got Law 101, and you've got, you know, a bicycle. You know, you don't want your bike. Oh, you really need Law 101, and we know how expensive textbooks are. 150 bucks, but I really need a bike. But we're both cash poor university students. So I was working on that.
I like that.
I was working on that product, and you know, given you know, you're working in a cashless society, it's very hard to monetize something like that.
Well, that's quite boring compared to this.
It's definitely not as sexy.
I know which business model I like.
So you had that mindset already. You're building apps.
Yeah.
You made it through around Booba.
Yeah.
You then this girl then goes, yeah, I'd be in on that.
Yeah.
And you're like, hey.
There's a market. There's customers that would want to use it.
So-
there's models that want to be on it, and I can build it.
So that's Sunday.
That's on Sunday. Yeah.
It's on Sunday because
Yeah.
UFC's on Sunday.
Yeah.
We watch
It was,
UFC.
yeah.
Right. Except you watch just him and I alone, you know, with the team. No waitresses.
Not anymore.
That's good.
That could be arranged, boys.
Now, what happens Monday?
Monday I start prototyping.
Stop it.
Yeah. No. If not that night.
Explain
if not
prototype.
that night.
Explain
So okay.
prototype,
So.
because I don't even know what you mean by
Yeah,
that.
okay. So essentially, I've had a lot of experience over the years in front end design. So the ability to, because for me, and a lot of us get this, you know, you get a big idea and you can't sleep. You know, it's going over and over and over in your head. Best thing, and this is how I learn to cope with it, might be different for everybody. Get it down on paper. Start drawing. Yeah, a journal. You know, just throw those thoughts down, and then you can tell your mind, hey, look, I've documented that.
Yes.
Let's move on.
So mind dump.
Mind done, brain done, but I would do it in a visual way because I'm a very visual learner.
Yes.
And so I started designing them. So I started designing the prototype of the app, and so I would have something that I could show people and say, hey, look, I've got this concept.
Yes.
What do you think of it? Do you believe in it? You know, this is what I see in the market. This is where I can see that we can essentially improve the customer experience.
Yes.
These are the ways in which you know, we can legitimize the platform for the girls. Like you said before, they're earning a lot of cash, like more than you would even understand. You know, some of our bookings are 12 girls for 6 hours. You know, that's a big booking.
And then you're running around like, so the mates gives $100, gives $100, gives $100,
Oh,
gives $100.
yeah,
We're gonna have
absolutely.
100. Just spot us next week.
Yeah, and the
Cheap.
girls, you know, while they're on jobs, you know, they'll do some extras and stuff like
I
that.
don't know about this though, guys. I just made
This
that
is
up,
all presumed.
So I just presumed. I've never experienced that.
So you know,
You're
you
always
got-
the one that's like, oh, sorry guy. Can you give me your BSB account details and I'll transfer you the money.
So they just hook their credit card up to the app in the back end, like they do with Uber.
Exactly like you do with Uber, which makes payments simple and also payments for the girls simple. Now,
Can you split fares?
well, yeah, you can. You actually can. So this is something about our new platform, which is coming, which is the ability to entirely build your bucks party, and you can split it with all the boys.
Yeah, that's the best.
That stuff's.
There's nothing like going, you know, to a dinner with, you know, 6 couples, you know, and then all of a sudden it comes down to, oh, who got what? Like, it turns into a shit fight.
Exactly.
Dinners.
Yeah.
It turns into a shit fight.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's cool. Yeah. So you brain dump on paper, pen to paper.
No, it's straight on the laptop.
Yes,
Straight on the
sorry,
laptop. Just start designing.
You know, 29 back, 59.
Yes.
so it's just start prototyping it, start putting it together, and as you're doing it, you're really critically thinking, okay, what do I need here, what do I need there? Okay, well, we're going to need a section where the girls can upload their license. We need to ensure that they're over 18.
Is this just you by yourself?
At this stage it was me just sort of sitting there, pretty much in my underwear, with the laptop, just going, what is this thing?
Yeah.
What could it be potentially?
And how long ago was this?
This is nearly 3 years ago.
Wow.
This is nearly 3 years ago. So
it just goes to show you, right? Like initial vision 3 years ago. To now, like it's not overnight success.
No.
I know people are not going to turn around in 10 years' time and go, "This is an overnight app success." They didn't see your
the 10,000 hours are put in.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
100%. So at this stage, I was still at Bond.
Yes.
I was finishing up. I was doing my one of my final subjects, which was entrepreneurial growth, which our mutual friend taught.
Yes.
And was one of the first people I put it in front of.
So how did you pitch it? Was it after, during, before the lecture?
It was I remember it.
It was after he booked.
I remember it vividly. We finished the lecture, and much like we would, I would walk with him back to his car. Avid Tesla lover, which is how you about if you can get him on, which is very difficult. Yeah, we're walking back to his Tesla, and because I would just, when you find somebody of this sort of experience, that you hold in such high regard, that has not only been there, worn the t-shirt, but redesigned the t-shirt, wore it again, and redid it again, even
big mentor for you.
Oh, he's a massive mentor for me, really guides me.
Again, back to the other podcasts we've done,
mentors are so important.
You need
so
a mentor in your life.
Oh, so important. And it's for all aspects of life, You can have mentors for family, you can have mentors for relationships.
Fitness, business.
Oh, absolutely.
Mindset.
Yeah, well, my brother-in-law is actually one of my biggest mentors for family in that, because he's got a family with my sister, and they have a child, and you want to find those people in life that have that experience, and when you can get 5 minutes of their time, even if it's walking to the car, you take that 5 minutes, because that 5 minutes
can change your life.
Can change your life.
That's what I do. I like doing that. Walk with me. You hear the partners in law firms or whatever. We go, okay, walk with me, talk to me about it. I've got 5 minutes. Let's go.
And that's all you need is 5 minutes. That's all you need is 5 minutes. I said, I've got this concept. I want to run it by you. Give me your honest opinion. And we just stopped, and I just started showing him the prototype, and he's just like, oh my god. He's like, is there anything that does that? I'm like, no one's doing this, no one's touching this. It's taboo. Nobody wants to.
So when we say nobody, are we talking like just Australia, or like this isn't available anywhere?
No, this isn't available anywhere, and there's a couple of reasons.
You've obviously got Canada. Any chance? Or?
We could absolutely get the rest of Canada.
I know a couple of mates that'll be interested.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always on the table. But yeah, look, a couple of reasons. So you've obviously got different legislations around the world, which obviously restrict people from doing this sort of stuff. You've also got, if you want to do this on the app market, you've got Apple and Google, which have to get past their very strict rules. Now, what we're talking about is a totally end-to-end platform for all sides of the market, right? Nobody's doing that. You have a lot of people out there that are agency owners, that are running it from a mobile phone, old school, seedy, mobile phone, sitting in their basement, or somebody runs the phone.
But it's not even compared. It's not.
It's not even the same. There's yellow cabs, and then there's Uber. We want to be Uber. We're not trying to be yellow cabs, even though yellow cabs built a great business that did very well for a lot of years. We believe that there's true power in empowering the models. And which brings us to another really empowering thing for them is, traditionally they would have to work at a club or for an agency in a specific location. Well, now with our platform, they essentially can travel anywhere. You could when the platform's available, you'll be able to travel throughout the US, turn on your profile and start doing jobs. It gives you the ability as a person to be able to travel the world and use what you already have.
Talk about scalability.
But just in relation to that, just to qualify that too, it's just not for the girls. You're telling me you've got male waitresses?
Yeah, we've got
waitresses.
What? We can organise a male waitress if you really need.
But so it's not just for the girls, it's for guys too.
It's not.
For hens.
Yeah, absolutely, for hens, right? So, interesting fact, there's more people who are actually searching for hens parties and things going on than parties.
Women don't do that, do
they?
They're worse
I reckon.
I should
Yeah.
qualify that. Like I have heard that they
Yes.
love getting into that type of stuff.
Of course, man.
Mm.
We're all human.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's so you pitched that. He's
Yeah.
bought into the idea,
Yep.
and he's like, okay,
Yeah.
now and then what happened?
And from there, I was like, okay, I've just had validation from someone who's extremely highly respected in the business community that,
Wow.
you know, pretty much said, hey, if you build that, I will come. You know, I will come on this journey with you. Which, you know, to me was, it was such a powerful thing because I already had a product. It was because I had a product that was up and out there and, you know, it was doing okay, but we weren't making, you know, really any money out of it. And then it was that moment. Do I persevere with what I'm doing and stick with what I'm doing? Or do I pivot to something that all the market is just telling me, hey, we need this, and nobody wants to do it because nobody's coming at it from a technology background and perspective.
I really, like, with this too is, you're going to grow the size of the industry.
Hopefully,
You are. You're going to make it more attractive.
That wouldn't
Yeah,
otherwise.
correct. You're going to make it more attractive for males and females that want to get into the industry.
Well, and I hope that
Because
is
it's a-
because it is safer as well.
Yeah.
It's like, and this is what I mean, the safety factor is massive because I think that's one of the things that is the safety, right? And the big thing with Uber is the same, right? Like with reviews.
Yeah.
Like how many people are Uber drivers that would have never been a taxi cab driver?
Yeah.
But all of a sudden they're working part-time in Uber
Yeah.
and they have a full-time job somewhere else.
Yeah,
But at the end of the
absolutely.
day, they know what client's going to be
Absolutely.
based
It's
on ratings.
I can definitely see that coming because a lot of the main reasons that people get into this work is, you know, a bit of extra cash.
Yeah.
They want to have some fun.
Yeah.
You know, a typical sort of booking for these girls is you're going there, or the guys, you're going there with one or two other girls that you know, or guys that you know, to a fun environment where everybody's there to celebrate,
Yeah.
and you're part of that celebration. So it can be actually a really fun
Experience,
and
yeah.
rewarding
I agree.
experience. You know?
Just like
I agree.
So
Like,
true.
Yeah.
we've all been there. Like it's.
Yeah, so I mean, as long as we can make it safer, I think that we will increase the size of the market and, you know, give people more opportunity to earn that extra money.
I agree.
Yeah.
Just relate that to seize the day, seize the moment, believe in yourself, from that UFC, the conversation that happened there, your background, all the moons and stars aligned.
And I put all my savings. I put every cent of my savings.
And this is what the people don't see, and this is what I want to be very clear on. You know, like people are going to see, you know, Avi models, you know, the success story, you know, overnight success story. They don't see the, you know, and the stress. You know, we're talking like, so with all your savings, you know.
Yeah.
So imagine taking all your savings,
Yeah.
every time dumping it into one idea. Like I am all in,
Yeah.
right? I am all in.
This
on
like a
this
table.
thing.
Yeah.
Right, because you know, one stripper said, "I'll use it," and then
Yeah.
all of a sudden, this mentor said, "Like this is amazing."
Adult entertainer, buddy.
Sorry.
I don't
Okay.
understand.
Whatever. Okay. But still, like it's just.
And
And
I
this is
would-
what people don't see, and this is the
Yeah.
thing about backing yourself. You know, and this is what we preach: back yourself, go all in. You know what I mean? Just get it done. Just do it. You know, and this is exactly what you did. What you've
100%.
done, and now.
And I would highly recommend doing that when you don't have a mortgage, you know.
Yes, of course, of
Three
course.
kids, like I would, because you know
It's
what? That's
different.
when it is different. I could risk it all.
But I
you
think
know?
naturally people make different decisions based on the circumstances they're under at that point in time.
Totally.
Right? Like when I was 29,
Yeah.
right, I didn't have kids.
Yeah.
So my risk factor, when I was pushing chips here, there,
Yeah.
and everywhere.
Yeah.
Whereas here I'm a lot more strategic because
Exactly.
before any decision I make,
Yeah.
the first thing I'm thinking about is
Yeah.
my family, is
Yeah.
my kid. How is this going to affect,
Yeah.
right, my two young
Absolutely.
girls? That's my number one.
Yeah.
Whereas with you,
Yeah.
you didn't have to worry about you. It's just you. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you can be selfish at that point in time and say, listen, I'm putting all in. If it doesn't work,
I can start again.
I can start again.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and, and to me, everyone can start again, but obviously it's a lot more difficult if you do have, you know, a
Yeah,
mortgage and
absolutely.
family and kids.
You know,
and the rest.
my only thing on the other side of that would just be that, you know, if you are doing it with a mortgage and with kids, consider those things as your first two priorities.
Yes.
And then your high risk dream, that's something that you should, and you know, don't be afraid to slowly chip away at it. You
Yeah,
don't
yes.
need to develop your big idea in 12
Yeah.
weeks and have the money raised by the
Yeah.
14th week. You can slowly do these things
Yeah.
and not risk you know, everything that you've worked for.
I mean, just on that as well, I think what's really interesting around this, so, and then like surrounding yourself with people to make this dream a reality. So like, how did that happen?
So I had two really great business partners in my previous business, which were both my family members.
Yes.
So we're actually a family business, you know, which is really great.
Wow. So when you're talking about your parents, you're talking about your...
I'm talking about my sister and brother-in-law.
Right.
So they were both involved in Quick Swap with me then, and naturally, you know, when you find amazing people, you hold on to them like it's a lifeboat. The Titanic just went down.
Yes.
Honestly, so sat down with both my business partners and said, I've got an opportunity for us. I think we need to pivot.
I love that word, pivot, by the way.
Yeah. I think we need to pivot what we're doing and put our time and our energy and our resources into this. Now, this is going from a swapping marketplace, helping people trade textbooks, to, hey, we're going to become the world's largest adult entertainment platform in the next few years.
How did you just go and pitch that to her?
She was quite reserved, I would say that. I would say
So
quite
you're
reserved.
Yeah.
It's because it's so taboo still, isn't
It
it?
is.
But she bought into the vision.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely, because she understood the core values of what we were doing and what we were
From the
really
business rather
providing.
than the actual, yeah.
Absolutely, and you know what? When you see an opportunity like this, you can either ignore it and just say, oh, okay, well, let's just ignore that. We'll go to something else, and we'll leave that industry in the way that it is, and we'll leave that the way it is. Not our problem.
But you know what I love about it?
You're the person that can do something about it.
Yeah, you know what I love about it? Is that you had the balls to do it. Because you know what? A lot of people wouldn't have.
No.
Right? Because of that it's going to be too hard. People are going to look at me differently. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah, that stuff goes on.
Yeah, and you
Yeah.
doing it is amazing. And I think even still is moving forward. A lot of people, like, obviously people are going to see what you're doing, and competitors will start popping up, just like any other industry,
sure.
right? But I still think because of the taboo that it's in, competitors will still be like, no, it's just, quick swap's easier for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I think they'll take the
Yeah,
whereas I think the competition for you
Yeah.
is going to be not as fierce as a lot of other industries, you know? Like,
Totally
imagine
agree.
Uber comes, how many Ubers is Lyft and all these other ones that have
You
come
don't know
out
about
trying to
them,
do the
right?
same
Like,
thing?
you know about them, but they're not in your forefront of your
Yeah.
mind when you're
Yeah.
ordering transport.
Like,
Oh,
you are.
yeah,
at the
absolutely. I
forefront.
mean, no payment gateway or bank in Australia would touch this.
Is that why you went private funding?
Yes.
Seed
Yeah.
funding?
So private seed funding came because we're expanding the business.
Yes.
So we had a very, very, very successful soft launch. In the first 3 months, we did over 230 bookings on our website.
In the first
3 months, we did over 230 bookings.
Is this through a website?
Yes, this was through the website. This isn't even the.
So how are you getting traffic to the website?
Well, that's some of our secret sauce, but
Okay.
we've got a lot of
So
strategies
source,
and
S-O-R-C,
techniques.
Good.
E or S?
Good.
To pick that one up. Yeah,
Yes,
so
yes.
we've got a number of different strategies that we use
Yes.
in the initial phases to just drive
This is
traffic.
web-based.
This was
first,
a web-based
before-
platform. Yeah, so I had the app. But again, no payment gateway in Australia wants to touch this stuff.
And did you apply?
Oh yeah,
Yes.
I went through all the banking stuff, I went through all the banking regulation stuff with them, got right to the end, day we're about to release on Apple, bank says no.
No, has that changed since then?
No.
So it's still.
Absolutely. If any of you guys are out there and you want to do a bit of research and read up on this stuff, look at PayPal and Stripe and what they're doing around the payment systems with Patron, which is an online content system. Anyone that's putting adult entertainment up on Patron, they won't supply the payment gateways for because.
Okay, so how does it work with online adult entertainment websites? Because obviously there's payment gateways
They do
that
their
are being
own.
used there, or they do their own.
No, this is a cash economy. So essentially how it's traditionally done is you would call one of these entities, they would give you a price, they would give you a deposit, you would pay the deposit by bank transfer and then pay the girls on arrival.
But what I mean, like, if you go on to, like, Pornhub, for instance,
Oh yeah.
like that, they've got some kind
So
of payment gateway on the
so
back of that.
Pornhub's owned by a company called MyGig. They
So
own
what's
their
this,
own
what's
payment
this website?
gateway.
What's
So they
Pornhub?
own their own.
They own their own.
What's Pornhub?
Yeah, Pornhub.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
You guys are out there, it's Pornhub.com.
Well, you introduced me to it, man. What are you talking about? Cheryl.
It's
So they design their own payment gateway.
They have their own payment gateways.
And then you've got your own, or
We work with a number of international companies,
right?
Yes.
And we've partnered. We've literally had to partner with these platforms.
Oh,
Yes.
right.
And we've had to go through a whole heap of compliance. We've had to set up international offices.
But it's an app now on iTunes.
It's coming very, very short. Very short.
Okay.
So
that's been.
it's one of the things,
Team up.
and this goes back to what we were originally saying, is that there's no major player in the market that's doing this. You haven't got a Walmart or
Because
a
of
Bunnings
the
of.
walls that are coming up. Huh?
Oh, absolutely. There is a lot of barriers to entry into doing this.
Because you'll just keep.
Right.
Oh, we're just gonna.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna keep running through these walls until either I'm dead or
Yeah.
we're legendary.
Yeah.
You're going to
Yeah.
be legendary, mate. There's no doubt about it. I'm just so inspired by your passion. But I just quickly wanted to ask, because keeps coming into my mind. So who does all this back end legal stuff for you in relation to all the payment stuff, to doing all the legal work for the apps? Because that's a big component of it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So we've partnered again. We like to find a lot of partners in the
So
industry.
surrounding yourself
What a law question.
Yeah, but I really want to know that, right?
Yeah.
Because you can't just bring this thing to market. And
That's your
go,
lawyer.
"Oh,
That's your
my
lawyer
background."
Yeah.
But like, so do you get someone locally into overseas? Specialists.
So we got specialists in
Locally into state.
Yeah, local
This all
specialists.
costs a lot of money. Like,
Oh,
this
yeah.
is like you're
Well,
paying big money.
just the contracts for our models alone to ensure that they were absolutely, everything.
Contracts for the models.
For the models,
okay,
because
that's
again,
protecting them.
protecting them.
So they sign up to
absolutely.
the app and they have to fill out a questionnaire contract thing.
Yep, essentially, they're a legitimate, business.
Yeah.
These are girls that are legitimate sole traders that are earning this income in this way. So I mean that was an $8,000 exercise just to give it some
Just to get a
context,
contract.
just to get the contract specialist done.
But who helps you with your back end research in relation to payment gateways, all that type of stuff? Do you do that yourself?
That's all done myself. So essentially, as I'm
So you're like the CEO, the inventor, the fucking jack of all trades. You're taking off hats.
yeah, well, you've got to.
Yeah.
I mean, in the initial phases, you've got to be the. I cleaned the office last time. I'm the cleaner as well. So you've got to be willing to do all those different jobs and jump in and help each other out. We take it in terms of doing the phones and talking to our customers and onboarding the models and going to the photo shoots and.
So just we come back to onboarding the models. What's the process behind? What's the process behind that?
Well, there's no particular casting couch that we have.
I don't know what you mean by that either.
but we do have a process where we do like to talk to the models and find out about reasons that they're getting into the industry, their experience that they've had in the industry. We will never send a new model to a job without somebody who's had experience as well.
That's cool.
We think that that's something that should definitely be adhered to.
I love that about the values of your business too. It's not just about having this app which enables people to book strippers and topless waitresses, right?
Yeah.
You're empowering the actual adult entertainment or the females.
Absolutely.
Giving them their power back in a relation where usually they're walking into a situation where there's usually a lot of males, a lot of testosterone.
Absolutely.
They have a little bit afraid, they're getting there nervous. Giving them that power back.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Making them also feel, a lot more respectable as
Yes.
well when they walk through the door. It's not walking through the door and, hey, can I have my money before I start?
Yeah.
Because these
It's
other
always
guys
awkward. It's
never
always
pay.
awkward,
It's
isn't it?
awkward, and it I'm sure, for the guys and the girls, it doesn't make them feel, great going in there and just asking for money straight away. But now, with the new platform, the money's already there.
Yeah.
The model says she's arrived, it shows up in the app, the client can see it, and now she can show up, and do the job, and leave, and give them a review, and also get a review herself.
Now she has legitimate income.
Legitimate income,
No. You can't tell the bank, I just made $10,000 cash. Oh yeah, like, they're not going to look at it,
Oh yeah.
Show me your bank statement, and then they're going to go, wow.
Yeah, exactly. So, which then again, it'll benefit the Australian government because more
And the
taxes are getting
economy.
paid. Absolutely, and the
I agree.
economy because more taxes will get paid. So it's a win-win for every single person sitting at the table. Every single person.
So mate, where are you at now with it all?
Yeah, so we just actually finished raising money for the business. So we finished our seed round of investment.
So can we get in on this, or is it closed?
This round
initial round's
this
closed.
round has
I
closed.
already asked when we first met them.
Yeah, but there may be some exciting news coming up.
But keep this in mind, please. I'm like,
Yeah,
serious.
yeah,
in the next 6 months, we've got some pretty exciting news that we're announcing. We've got some expansion plans. So
stay tuned, listeners.
Yeah, stay tuned. There may be a Series A coming up.
Just talk about that because it's really interesting anyway. So the whole seed funding thing, and like you're saying, you had to do a first round and a second round. Like, how heavily are you involved in that? Are you put in front of a group of investors and you're pitching your idea, or is it via email, or do you pitch to one guy? Like, I don't understand how that works.
Yeah. So essentially, I'd create the pitch deck for it. So I'd have to put that hat on again.
Yes.
So create the pitch deck for it.
Pitch deck was like a PowerPoint
It's like a
presentation.
PowerPoint presentation.
Yeah, wow.
If you guys, perspective essentially. If you guys want to Google a really good one that's sort of like the industry standard, Airbnb's classic pitch deck. It's available online. You guys can download it.
That's
if you need to do your own pitch deck, I highly advise using the same structure.
You used it,
Yeah, same structure. And then you just get out there and you put yourself out there. You call, you email every venture capitalist you can find the details of. You call every friend, every family member. You pull out favors. You ask people, hey, look, if you're not interested in investing, do you have a network of people? Do you have anybody that potentially would be interested in investing?
How many notes did you get?
47.
How many calls?
How many? Yes. How many? I now have 7 investors.
But how many times did you get no's? Because that's a really powerful.
Yeah.
47. 47 out of 54 people who I approached said no, too high risk. We don't operate in that industry. Sorry, good luck.
Sorry, good luck.
Had a couple of, and then you've just got the people, and who just they can't. Friends and family who just like they can't tell you no. I can't. I don't want to invest in your idea, mate. So they just radio silence.
Yeah.
But you know.
Yeah.
It got a lot of backlash, I believe, because of partners and their opinion of it. It was such an interesting journey doing that seed round of investing, and it was so difficult. It took 9 months.
Wow.
It took 9. We had 50% of the money in the first 2 weeks, and then it took 8.5 months to get the rest of it.
And how does it work? So, for instance, like, do they get a share certificate, or they just get on the register?
Yeah.
Or how does it work? So I'm going to invest X amount, and I'm getting this percentage of the business.
Yeah, there's a number of different ways that you can obviously do it. So the way that we did it was a straight equity sale. So we essentially put up a percentage of the business for an amount of money, X amount, that we gave us a valuation of Y, and we put that to investors. And essentially, we had that great buy, and everyone said, price is fine, price is great. It wasn't the price. Just the context.
Yeah, of course.
The context of the business just made it so difficult.
That's why you took a context, like the vision of yours for where this could be. Is that what you mean? Or the
I believe it.
How do you define the context?
I would define the context in the sense that the nature of what we were doing, the industry that we were getting into.
Taboo, right?
It's high, for VC firms and early stage investors, it's high risk enough investing in these businesses, let alone investing in
tech startups, app development.
Well, yeah, tech startups, app development, let alone extreme left field.
Yeah, extreme.
Platform that is taboo. That I very openly said no bank in Australia will work with me to provide the payment gateway. No payment gateway within Australia would do it. So massive red flags to them, and you know what? For half of them, I don't blame them. But that's how their portfolio, and that's how they like to invest. And I'll tell you, the one thing when you're raising money, perseverance. Just keep going. I had some of my major investors pull out on me. 7 months in. So those guys, a couple of those guys that started out with me, got the money in the first couple of weeks, they were on board, we got great, we've got half the money here, we've got an amazing suite of investors, with all different disciplines and backgrounds, we can finish this off. 7 months later, a couple of them were like, well, this isn't happening. You know, are you ever going to be able to really finish this off and do this? And you know what? In that exact same phone call, I said, please just come and meet with me, sit with me for an hour, let me explain to you where I'm at and what we're going to do, and absolutely turn that around. And we were actually
You kept them.
No, not only kept them, they raised their investment. They doubled.
It's all about the people.
Yeah,
It's all about the person.
and persisting and
You know what I mean?
constant backing yourself. Even
Like
all
the
those
passion that just speaking to you now about, it's like,
I can see it in your face.
you know what I mean? Like
It's
those, like the original guys, if they back out, it's gonna be like that guy that sold his Apple shares for $500.
And that's exactly right. And look at J.K.
No.
Rowling. How many no's did she get before she published?
That's-
All the publishers.
Yeah,
said
absolutely. That's one of that story. The amount of people that said no to Harry Potter is just incredible.
People say no to Harry Potter.
Well, what about the guy who said no to Bohemian Rhapsody?
Yeah.
In the actual movie.
In the movie, I
played
saw that the
Yeah,
other day.
actual
Played
movie,
by,
right.
what's his name?
No one will listen to this, you know. Who would listen to an 8.5 minute ballad? It's
Yeah.
like, mate, you have no idea.
So you had those believers. So what can you say from those lessons? So were there times when you just wanted to give up and throw it in? or-
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
From the nose or from people telling you what you're doing?
Yeah, from the nose. Like, you know, I put it all in one. Very
Yeah.
passionate person. You know, some would, you know, say, you know, you can be quite emotional at times, but it's because like these things I feel. I can really feel what I'm doing and what I'm putting into it. And that's everything, you know. I'm putting my whole reputation, my relationships on the line for this. All my savings and stuff like that. So, absolutely, there were times when I, you know, sat there and like, I'm pretty much in tears, just like, this is not going to happen. I have, like, you know, these people.
Because you're not only getting no's from investors, you're getting no's from payment gateways, you're getting no's, I'm sure, from other suppliers.
Absolutely.
Saying, you're crazy.
Absolutely. I'm getting backlash from the local, you know, community, friends and family, and you know, people saying, "What are you doing? Like, why are you doing this? You don't need to do this. Why would you do it?" You know, so these are a lot of things that are, you know, really tough to deal with. And you know, as a man, they're like, you know, man up, you know, deal with it. But it's just not like that.
No.
You know, we still do have feelings and emotions that come with all this stuff. So it's hard.
I mean, talking about that, like, how do you deal with it personally? What do you have any routines or tips that you do in relation?
Go to the gym.
Yeah.
Go to the gym and just let it all out at the gym. When you walk out of that place, you haven't got the energy.
That's what helps.
You haven't got the energy to be upset or be frustrated.
Yeah.
You're just like, okay, you know, today was what it was. I had a really down day, but tomorrow you can have the best day of your life. And it is literally those vicissitudes of up and down. I literally had the best day that I've ever had in business and one of the worst personal days of my life in the exact same day.
That happens, right?
Oh,
We've been there, man. I hear you.
It's just the universe equaling things out.
And on that, I just want to, so how did you get your drive, your passion? You're obviously an articulate, educated gentleman. Like, how did you become you or where you are? I suppose what I'm asking you about is like your upbringing. Like, how did that bring you here? Like, were your parents driven? And like you were telling me briefly before, like you got highly educated parents, right? So like, did that inspire you?
Well, here's the thing. Like, so my mum, highly educated woman. She's like, education is the number one thing. Totally agree with her. Or like, you need to constantly keep learning. Yes, I finished my degree back in 2016. Since then, I've finished and listened to 56 audiobooks.
Yes.
On all of the things.
Constantly learning.
On all of the things that uni doesn't teach you. Show me a university where you can take sales as a subject.
Yeah.
You just can't. They don't teach it. They'll teach you marketing. They'll teach you the 4 pillars of marketing, but they won't teach you how to
overcome no's.
How do you overcome no's? But that would
How do you do relationship issues?
Yeah, absolutely.
How do you fucking do well to perform the best at
How
work?
do you sell to invest? How do you sell part of your business to investors? How do you pitch?
Yeah.
You know, so all of these things that uni doesn't teach you, I would highly recommend. And I love audiobooks because I live on the Gold Coast. I used to drive to Brisbane every day for work, so it's an hour there and it's an hour back.
I call that communication.
That's
Communication.
awesome.
So if you see me traveling anywhere, I always post communication.
Yeah.
Listen to podcasts, reading books.
Yeah, love it.
Think about an hour trip to Brisbane.
Yeah.
It's like studying, going to university and doing
100%.
an hour's lecture.
Oh, yeah.
You
You got an
educate
hour
yourself. You get a PhD in like world.
Yeah.
with like real world stuff, right?
Have you read the book Pitch Anything by Warren Clapp?
No, I think I've got it. I think I have it on my wish list though.
Yeah,
I think
so
I do.
Pitch Anything by Warren Clapp is
I love that. Yeah.
Especially, for your second round. And
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, that's awesome. So I have this mum that's highly, highly educated. She's got a PhD in Duchenne muscular dystrophy. Education. She's like, you need to get that degree, which I've got, and it's great, and it's really legitimised me as a person to say, hey, this kid can learn, you can understand concepts, and then relay that back to the world. My father left home and school at 16, not educated. Complete opposite. Complete polar opposites. So I've got mum who's highly educated, PhD. I've got dad that left school at 16, got on a train and went to Sydney, started selling Levi Strauss jeans off the back of the Navy ships that were coming from the US.
Wow.
Super entrepreneurial. From there, went up north, was in farming, had his own macadamia farms, had a large chain of horticultural garden centres, was on the Great Southeast.
Oh, wow.
Had his own TV show back in the 90s called Hawkins Style, which used to be on Channel 10. It's I think it was 6 o'clock on a Saturday. He had a show called Click on 10 as well. So very entrepreneurial. He was in racing as well.
Yes.
So
as a kid growing up, you're seeing exposed to that. You're exposed to your mum.
Yeah.
And that just makes, obviously...
I've been very fortunate to be able to have both people in my life.
Great.
Somebody who is highly, highly educated and understands, the fundamentals of understanding theory and what you can do with that. And then somebody else who's very entrepreneurial and understands the practicalities and how to apply it. Street smart.
Hustle.
Yeah, the hustle, the grind, the never give up, the put yourself out there. You've got nothing to lose. You really don't have anything to lose at the end of the day.
You got nothing to lose, mate. Everything to gain and nothing to lose. Because what's the worst position you're going to be in?
Oh, with all this experience, where I am again, with all this experience, and learning all of the lessons of all the things that didn't work, and then applying that to the next thing that I'm going to do.
This is what we spoke about on your story. Like, everyone's got this stuff. You don't look at like a failure as a failure and get depressed. Look at it as a lesson. And you go, I learned so much stuff from that. 100%. That's going to create.
Fast forward. 3 years. Here we are today. Tell us a little bit about the business now.
So it's very different business. Very different than I even originally thought of. So beyond the original concept of being able to book, a topless waitress, topless waiter, stripper, we actually are now expanding the business. So we've actually partnered with a lot of local companies. For instance, if you're a couple of guys, you're down in Sydney, you want to come to the Gold Coast for your bucks, you want to get picked up at the airport by a Hummer, you want to go to an awesome party house, you want to go to Top Golf, you want to go out on a big super yacht charter. We're partnered with Bow Time Yacht Charters as well. You want to go fishing, then you want to go to the club. Oh, and you want to have the girls with you. Yeah, that we can do that for you as well. So what we're
really creating an experience.
Exactly. It's supposed to be
telling experiences. People, it's not about the service you provide. It's not about the product you provide. It's an experience now.
Absolutely.
Airbnb's nailed it as well. Because that's in the holiday accommodation business we're involved in. Airbnb provides an experience. That's what they provide. They don't provide accommodation. That's what people don't understand.
So people now can book all of that
through the platform.
You don't have to worry about it. So now I've gone to the best man at the wedding. It's like, okay, I've got to book this, and this. We're going here and there. Like,
I've got to talk to this person. I've got to talk to that person.
Ivy Models is.
You can get in contact with Ivy Models. We've got a 1300 number, 1300-489-277, and we'll actually give you your own Bucks concierge or your hands concierge. That person will organise the entire thing for you, and that's a complimentary service that we provide. So really what we've done is we've looked at the whole experience and then said, how can we actually provide local business owners an opportunity to tap into this? So we're really extending the platform beyond just local guys and girls to local suppliers that can really, help with this stuff, and in turn, we're going to bring them group bookings. Again, it wins for everyone.
That's what it's all about.
It's endless possibilities.
And that's what we're trying to do. And we're doing it here in Australia. We're nailing it here in Australia. before we're going to expand to other countries.
Exactly.
But
That's so good.
where we're at today, we're in a really great position. We've had more bookings than we've ever had, and we've got one very, very big thing that hopefully we can announce with you guys in a couple of months. And it's a national tour with a big, very, very, very well known entertainment group thing.
Yeah.
So we're just finalising that now, but
Awesome.
yeah, that'll be touring around Australia, and IV Models will be a big part of that.
And will the app be?
Yeah, the
live?
app will be live by then.
Yeah.
So we're just in the final stages of testing it and the payment gateways
Yes.
and that now. So come mid-June, we'll have that up and out there for everybody to use, which is super exciting.
It's so exciting, mate. We're so excited for you.
That's unreal. What a
Mate,
story.
Yeah, what a story. I think, at the end of the day, if what people are taking out of this is you got to have big balls.
100%.
You got to back yourself. All those no's turn into yeses, make you more resilient. What else are the takeaways from this?
You've got to be
Perseverance.
Perseverance.
I say that word
word
almost every day.
It's the word of the
Yeah,
hour.
Being able to pivot, persevere.
Yeah, absolutely. So even Steve Jobs, he said, I believe the one thing that distinguishes the successful entrepreneurs from the ones that aren't is their ability to just persist.
Yeah.
To just keep going when all of the institutional investors are like, no, we won't touch this. You just keep running through walls.
Yes.
And I
Walls were
promise
made
you
to be
it will
broken, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I promise you it'll happen. It will happen if you just keep going and you keep going. It might be a year, it might be 2 years.
Yes.
It will happen.
Yes.
I promise you.
I agree with that entirely. Like you see those memes on Instagram and stuff where the guy's digging that hole in the ground. I've seen it, and he's super close to reaching the end of the tunnel, and then he quits.
Yeah.
And then some other guy comes along and says,
Yeah.
"Oh, here's a good tunnel." Does one little dig.
Dig
One
is
day,
true.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
that's awesome.
And I think a lot of people watching this really need to listen to that last 60 seconds or so and really resonate with it, because
Yes.
what you just said is not just for business, but it's in life, it's in
100%.
relationships, it's in fitness goals, it's the same message.
Yeah.
In all different areas of life.
Yeah, it's putting that one foot in front of the other. No matter how big the mountain is in front of you, just get that one foot in front of the other. And if you get the next one, and then the next one,
One of my favorite
Just
sayings
like-
is, "How do you eat an elephant?
piece
One
by
bite at a
piece."
time."
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, no,
That's what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
You had a massive elephant ahead of you.
Yeah. Oh, and it's
In
still
front of you.
Oh, and there's
It's still there, right?
Oh, there's still so many hurdles that we've got to get
You're halfway
over.
up the trunk, man.
Yeah, and I'd love nothing more than to be the company that's at the forefront of this, that's changing things, that's saying, hey, this is how it should be done. And if governments aren't willing to step in and regulate and ensure that this is done right, we'll do it.
We're going to be at the forefront of that, right?
Yeah.
We're going to create that.
Oh, we're here to disrupt a big industry and,
Yes.
and help everyone along the way.
No, I love it, mate. Mate, thank you so much for your time.
Awesome.
Remember, guys, to follow Ivy Models. How
Yeah.
do people get in contact with you guys?
So if you're on Instagram, we've got @Ivy Models Official,
So just all one word?
all one word. If you're on Facebook, we're posting awesome stuff on Facebook all the time. You'll find this on Facebook as well, on our Facebook page.
Ivy Models.
@Ivy Models
Yeah.
on Facebook as well. You can give us a call on 1300 Ivy app.
Yes.
We've got that if you want to talk to one of our people about organising your next event.
Eric's birthday's on the weekend, so
Hold on, mate. What was that number, bro?
That's 1300 489
I'll text it to you.
277.
And mate, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it. We're just going to finish up now, but yeah, follow us on YouTube, on iTunes, on Spotify. What's our YouTube handle? Just the R.A.D podcast.
R.A.D
So you can
podcast.
actually see this information live. You can listen to us via iTunes or Spotify. Thank you so much, buddy. Really appreciate your time.
Thanks so
Awesome
much for having
story.
us,
man.
Yeah.
Awesome story.
I
Very
really
inspiring.
appreciate it, guys.
Thanks very much.
Awesome.